As always, guys, welcome to the On Blast podcast. I am your host, Anthony, and we have a special guest today because Ira's out. We have special guest, Isabella. Say hello, Bella.
Hi.
Isabella is my little sister. For those of you that don't know, this is her big debut, so let's give her a warm welcome. Woo! The crowd goes crazy. Woo! She's not as enthusiastic as I am, but that's fine. We can work with it. So we were out last week. Me and Ira, we were busy living life. And, we put up, our team put up a post says, we're not going to apologize for that, as we shouldn't. This is our lives. We are out enjoying it. And, I think that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I was out in the Dominican on vacation, and Ira was probably doing Ira things somewhere. So we didn't connect too much, but he had some things going on, I believe, today. So I took the liberty, the On Blast team took the liberty of doing a little Q&A, which I'm super, super excited about. Super excited. Bella took the liberty of preparing some questions from our audience, which I'll be answering today. And maybe at the end, we'll throw a little curveball at Bella, ask her some questions, because she is, as most of you do know, Bella is a artist. She loves to sing and sleep, and she is a connoisseur of many things. So somewhat of a savant, I believe is the term. So I want to welcome everyone back for EP 11. Super, super excited. For those of you that don't know, Bella put together our song for the last episode, right?
Yep.
Bella doesn't talk much, guys. That's why she's asking questions today. So Bella, what do we got? We're gonna be short and sweet today. We don't know where Ira went. We're going to have to send, the police to do a wellness check on him. I'm just kidding. I think he's at work. We're going to answer some questions. And, I think, these questions might be able to shed some light. I don't know what we got. So let's dive in, Bella. What do we have?
So for the first question, it is, how did you start the podcast? And what advice do you have for anyone that wants to start something new?
Oh, that's a good one. So the podcast was a long time coming. Me and Ira spoke about it pretty often. How did we want to do it? We want, by nature, we're perfectionists. A lot of people are. But we wanted to nail the podcast. We wanted it to be perfect. We wanted everything to be perfect. And I have a tendency to go into like overdrive, where we want things to be so perfect that we just overthink. We call that paralysis by analysis. And you just continue to overthink about things and you inevitably get nothing done. So it's a little bit of a headache, but the podcast was a long time coming. And one night I was talking to a buddy of ours, and I joined his live by like accident on Instagram. Excuse me, I had to burp. And I joined his live, and I just sat there and we just BS'd and went back and forth. And I was like, I called Ira as soon as I got off the Instagram live, and I said, holy crap, like, this is it. This is the bread and butter. You know the bread and butter, right, Bella?
No.
So the bread and butter is, we found it. We found a way to do it without having to perfect it, and we just wanted to get into it. And we didn't really care. My big motto is take risks, risk big, do what you love, kind of thing. So I didn't want to think about it anymore. And I knew Ira didn't want to think about it. So we just wanted to get into it. We wanted to start talking about what we wanted to talk about, and doing what we love. The second part of that question was, try something new.
Like, what advice do you have for anyone who wants to do something new?
I mean, yeah, I think I just said it. You have to learn to take risks. You have to, you have to be willing to try things that are super new to you, and you have to be willing to be uncomfortable. Every day I practice that. I think it's gotten me pretty far. You have to learn to be uncomfortable with what you're doing, because you're going to be new at something at some point in your life. And the only way you get better is by doing it. And for anything new, it's scary, it's daunting. People don't want to try new things, because the unknown is paralyzing. You know, people get paralyzed by the unknown, and they get scared by what could happen and what could go wrong. And it's so easy to think like that. But you have to start thinking mainly what could go right, you know? And that's something that I use a lot in my life. I try not to think like what could go wrong, because yeah, anything could go wrong, but you just have to understand if it goes wrong and it's something you're passionate about, just try again and just keep trying and trying and trying. That's what I got. You got to try new things, right, Bella?
Yep.
So what do we got next?
For the second question is, how do you feel about failing with your face mask business?
Oof. The fuck? I'm sorry. Failing with my face mask business. I feel super good about that, actually. I feel very satisfied with the outcome of the face mask business. Some of you know, not all of you, but I started a face mask business, and this is for anyone that starts a business. You know, you're gonna have a lot of growing pains when it comes to starting a business, like a lot. And I had no idea what I was in for. I was in for a real rude awakening. And you know, it I can't say it failed, because I gained so much from that business, not fiscally, but I gained so much in terms of knowledge and insight that I can use that anywhere nowadays. I could use that kind of knowledge anywhere. So to say it failed is totally out of line, because and I hate to say it, but whoever that is, they, you know, obviously they don't know the depths of, you know, the business and what really transpired. But I gained so much from it. There's no way it failed. But I feel great about it. You know, I moved on, I cut my losses, kind of thing. We're going to be moving away from no cap masks. I don't think we're entirely done with it. I think we're still going to implement it in some ways, because we are still in a pandemic and people still need face masks. So we're going to see what we can do, hopefully for the community, with the leftover inventory. That's ideally what I would like to do, be able to give back. And yeah, there's no way it failed. Not even possible. Not even possible. Did it fail, Bella? You can tell me. You can be honest.
I don't really think it failed. I
Okay.
mean, obviously not a lot of people are buying masks right now, but I don't think it really failed.
Yeah, I seem to have a good head on about it, you know. Cool. What do we got next, Belle?
For the next
I'm
question.
sorry, guys. I'm chomping on these espresso beans over here. I'm gonna be bouncing through the roof pretty soon.
The next question is, you and Ira always talk about making an impact in the world. What does that even mean?
Huh. I think making your impact in the world means a lot of things. I don't think it's any one thing, and some would argue otherwise, but to make your impact, you have to do a lot of things that a lot of people aren't willing to do. And that could be really unpopular and people might not like it. But, you know, leaving our impact through the podcast, even, you know, we do the podcast, and you know how much the podcast means to me, Bella. We do the podcast because we want people to have a voice. We want people to know, hey, we can go check on the podcast and we can see, like, these are two guys that have been through the trenches, and we can use them as kind of like our backbone in our times of need. So I think that's really important for as far as making an impact. You have to be able to help the world in some way. I don't care how you do it, but you're here on this planet to make a positive change in someone else's life. And I think too many people just kind of float around and they're okay not doing that. They're okay just thinking about themselves, and that really gripes my ass, to say the least. But to make an impact is to change the world in some way, have that larger than life attitude, to think differently, to actually follow through with the things you say, and not just say, emptiness, because it's easy to make promises and not deliver. But I think it's just about changing the world in some way and getting our voice out there and helping anyone. If we can help one person, that's monumental. To get messages from people on the podcast that say, hey, I watched this episode and it like changed everything for me. That's so cool. Like, that means the absolute world to Ira and I. Like, that is everything to us. When I get messages like that, my heart melts. So things like that is really what making an impact is about, and what it means to, me. I can't speak for Ira. We don't know where Ira is, but I'm sure he would have some input on it.
So for the next thing, someone just wrote, "Hi guys."
Hi guys. Hi. Wave Bella. Say hi.
Hi.
Bella's learning to socialize, guys. She's been out of school for the last year and a half. And, I got to say, I do feel for these kids, because Bella's 14 and, yeah, you're 14, right, Bella?
Yeah.
14. So these kids at 14, I want everyone to think back to a time when they were 14. How important was it that you actually were out and doing things and making new friends and trying different stupid stuff or whatever? And I feel for these kids, because, they're cyber school, they're not going anywhere, they're stuck in the houses because of the pandemic. That drives me nuts. I tell you all the time, though, that drives me absolutely wild, like crazy. So anyway, these kids are learning to socialize all over again. So it's nice to have Bella on the podcast so she can socialize a little bit. Right, Bella?
Yep.
Notice how she doesn't use any words. She doesn't even have words. She just nods her head like, uh-huh. So what do we got next, Belle?
What is your biggest secret?
My biggest secret? The hell kind of question is that? I don't know. What's your biggest secret?
I don't really keep secrets, so I really wouldn't know, because I tell a lot of my secrets.
All right, so we know not to tell Bella any secrets on Blast Family. No secrets for Bella.
I keep like other people's secrets. I just don't keep my own. I tell people mine.
Fair enough. So Bella has no secrets. I'm kind of a locked vault when it comes to my secrets. Even if I did have one secret, I don't think I would necessarily share it with anyone. That's why it's my secret. That's my secret formula to life. I can only give tips and tricks, but my biggest secret? No way. That one's got to stay with me. What's next, Belle?
Next, we have, what is Whiteboard Worthy? Can you explain in detail? Because you always talk about it, but you're very vague about the topic.
Oh, yes, Whiteboard Worthy. Well, first, I have to be vague about a business that has yet to launch. Whiteboard Worthy is not, it's still in the early stages. And when you have a company that's in its infancy, you have to be pretty careful about some of the things you talk about, what you put out there, because people have a tendency to like a good idea and try to make it their own. But Whiteboard Worthies, again, that's a lot of things. But to keep it in English terms, Whiteboard Worthy is a self-care clothing line that's going to be specializing in one-off type designs in the sector of like 90s streetwear. So stuff you used to see back in the 80s and 90s, like those blazers from Walmart that like I remember I hated wearing as a kid, but now I'm like, I'll wear whatever. So Whiteboard Worthy is going to be specializing in those one-off designs, which is just absolutely terrific. So much work has gone into it. I can't thank my team enough. More importantly, Nina. Nina is, she's a real trooper. That's my artistic director. She handles pretty much everything creatively and artistically. And honestly, if I let her run the company, she would. She's got a great work ethic. She's one of the hardest workers I know. And she's been working real hard at this with me, and putting together those one-off designs, which it's not common. It's very easy these days to make a company and put your logo on it and say, oh, this is my company. And frankly, that's not the way of the land anymore. You have to go the extra mile for people. And going the extra mile means you have to actually go the extra mile. I could have very easily launched a self-care clothing line tomorrow, and it would just shit the bed, and that's not what I'm looking for. We're looking for longevity. We're looking for community. We're looking for family. We're looking for empowerment. I want more than anything to see Whiteboard Worthy change people's lives that are that struggle in ways, and even the strongest of people. Mental disorders are a very real thing, and frankly, we don't talk about it enough, but we need to open that conversation up to talk about mental awareness and self-care and caring for yourself, because I know a lot of people think it's cliche, but it's true, and we need to open that door to communicate, hey, there's something wrong. Let's talk about it. So Whiteboard Worthy is going to it's going to be all about self-care initiatives and some cool ass streetwear from the 90s. We're going to try to implement as many things as possible to offer to our community in terms of just any resources we can. And most of all, we want to be able to give back to the community. So we will be releasing more information regarding Whiteboard Worthy as the next couple months go on. We launch September 1st. So, it's exhilarating. It's fucking honestly one of the scariest things in my life, launching this company, because it's my world. But for some sick reason, I live for the things that scare the hell out of me. I gravitate towards them. The things that are new and scary, I love to do. I want to learn. I want to make mistakes. I want to learn from my mistakes moreover. But Whiteboard Worthy is it's going to be about helping people. It's going to be about making our impact, creating a culture, creating a community, and being number one. We want to be number one. We want to help as many people as possible. We want to make our impact through Whiteboard Worthy, and we are in a very good position to do that with the company, with the people that are involved. And I am so stoked for what the future looks like for Whiteboard Worthy. So hopefully that explains a little bit more in depth what Whiteboard Worthy is. And if you're so curious, you guys can follow their pages and keep track of what the future looks like for Whiteboard Worthy, because it's bright. It's going to be fun. We're going to try to have as many people involved as possible, because that's what life's about. You got to have fun. You got to enjoy it. You got to live for the moment sometimes. And, I want Whiteboard Worthy to be a kind reminder that, you matter. You are worthy. You can do whatever you want. So hopefully that sums it up a little bit. Right?
All right, so next we have, where is Ira? We only like him.
Okay. We don't know exactly where Ira is. I believe he's at work. But yeah, I think Ira's at work on Blast Fam. Not entirely sure myself. But thank you for the question. Wow. Rude. Rip.
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 Okay, so for the next question, it is, why do you like people so much? People suck.
Wow, these are messed up questions. Um, I don't know. I love people. People are great. Yeah, people suck. It's true. You can't argue that. People do suck. Um, but the people that don't suck make it all worth it. Um, I don't know. I just I have this like unhealthy obsession with like being in love with people. I love life. I love people, and I think that's really important for my sanity. Uh, people do suck, and you're going to experience a lot of traumatic stuff that you're going to have a hard time overcoming, and you're going to very quickly want to blame other people for those shortcomings, and it's easy to do that, and I understand that. But try to refrain from blaming anyone, and just take the experience you had with somebody, uh, and take it for what it's worth. For whoever asked that question, I imagine they probably have had some pretty shitty interactions, and I get that. I get it more than anybody. It's okay to have those interactions with people, and yeah, maybe you're turned off to the idea of people at this point. Um, but people are good. There are good people out there. You have to give them a chance, and most importantly, you have to give yourself a chance with people, because there's some incredible souls that are out there, and they make it all worth it. They make every last day worth it. You just think of the people you even might work with. I've stayed at jobs because of people that I work with. I'm like, okay, I like this person. I'm gonna keep going there. Or so a family member. Thank God you have this sibling. You get up every day because the sibling's awesome, which is definitely Bella's case. She gets up every day knowing that I'm home, and God bless her soul, because I'm out of my mind and mornings are crazy here, uh, to say the least, right, Bella?
Yeah.
Bella comes into the kitchen like the Walking Dead.
So messed up.
All right, what do we got next, Bella?
Where does your larger than life attitude come from?
I feel like I've already answered that kind of. Um, I don't know. I went through a lot of shit growing up. I've been through a lot of shit in the last year, 2 years. And again, I think it's really easy to be turned off to life. I think it's really easy to hate your life because you've gone through some traumatic things. That's the easy way, and I get it. Some people that are dealing with mental stuff don't know how to think outside of that. But I can tell you, after the last year, dealing with, depression and anxiety and these things that I never really experienced, I promise you, there's light at the end of the tunnel. And that's why I think every day, like I try to stay positive, because it's too easy to say, you know what, I've had it with the day, I've had it with life, I'm sick of everything, this sucks, that sucks, when frankly it's not the end. It's not the end. And why not be in love with life? Why not have a larger than life attitude? Because there's so much life offers you. Like, how could you? I can't imagine thinking outside of that. Like, even on my darkest days, I'm like, "Aunt, you can do it. Get past it. It's not the end. You'll be fine. Pick yourself up, and get after it." And I think that's just really what it's about. Um, you just can't mope around, and even if you have every reason to mope around, uh, just try. You just have to try. That's really all it is. Try to have a better attitude about life, and I think it will increasingly get better. It just takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, and you have to want it bad enough. Right, Belle?
Yep. I'll just keep saying that. Okay, and then
Bella, do you know how to say anything other than yep?
I mean, yeah, obviously.
Oh yeah. Okay, we got yeah and obviously.
And then for the last question,
Oh, this has got to be a good one.
why don't you sleep?
I can only imagine who asked that. Why don't I sleep? Again, I think it's back to the larger than life thing. I think it has everything to do with probably every question you ask me. I don't sleep. Well, A, I don't sleep on a micro level, today. I don't sleep because I'm working. Trying to build a business, you're going to work 80, 90 hours a week, whether you like to believe that or not. I don't care how good your formula for success is, how good your marketing strategy is, how good your branding plan is. I don't care how many people you know. If you want to run a good business, a legitimate business, a life-changing, life-altering business, it's going to require 100 hours a week all day. And if you're not willing to put that time in, you might as well, I can't even say give up. You might as well just go back to the drawing board and try to get your priorities straight. So that's mainly why I don't sleep, because I'm usually working on so many different things at a time that the brain doesn't shut down. And when you're passionate about something, it's easy to stay up all night. I don't sit there and go, oh my God, it's 2:00 today. How am I going to make it to 3? It's not like that. It's more like, oh my God, it's 3:00. I forgot I'm still awake and I need to go to sleep, like right now. So yeah, it's usually about the business. For the most part, it's about the business. Very rarely are things, sometimes things bother me that will keep me awake. And, that's life. You're going to deal with shit that bothers the hell out of you and keeps you awake at night. But on a bigger level, I just don't sleep because, frankly, if I'm not working, I'm just like, I hate giving up the day. I hate it. Like, some people are like, I was talking to this girl while I was in the Dominican, Bella, and what was her name? Carla? Carla. She was phenomenal. She was the chillest girl I've met in a long time. She was super cool. I really enjoyed talking to her, and we spoke for hours and hours. Like, she was great, and she's like, oh no, when I go to sleep, I'm tired. And I was like, oh no, I can't go to sleep. I don't know how people sleep. Like, how do you do it? Like, I envy people like that. And Bella knows because, Bella has no problem sleeping. But I hate giving up the day. I hate it. So that's usually why I don't sleep. Did you have something to say, Bella?
No, I was just gonna say, like, I sleep all day because I stay up all night doing nothing.
Staying up all night. So Bella's a night owl, guys. I think you don't realize it now, Bella, but a lot of people are night owls. I'm one of them, of course. Cool. So that's all of our questions.
Yeah.
Those were some good questions. I mean, kind of threw me for a loop, some of them. Little weird. So Bella, your big debut, you're on the On Blast podcast. I'm more than happy to have you. I know our On Blast community is happy to have you. Would you like to tell everyone about your musician career as an artist and all of these things?
Um, well, I'm just trying to see how I'm gonna word all of this. So I very didn't stutter much. Um, I enjoy singing. Um, I do write songs, but I haven't posted any of them on any type of social media platform.
Why?
I don't know. I mean, Anthony knows this. I don't really like singing when people are in the house because I don't like people listening to me sing. So I don't really get the chance to post any videos of me singing. But when I do get a chance, it's because either people are outside or they left the house and I'm by myself. Um,
So
but
Bella doesn't want anyone to hear her singing, right, Belle?
yeah.
So the On Blast community, if they had to give you advice right now, I think they would say, Bella, you should absolutely sing in the house, which you were the other night at the top of your lungs on the couch next to me. I remember. You should absolutely sing in the house at the top of your lungs. But moreover, they would tell you, you should absolutely post your content because you just don't know. You have a phenomenal voice. And I don't say it because you're my sister, but because you truly do. And it goes back to, how do you have that larger than life mentality and things like that? You have to take those risks, Bella. And I say it all the time, and I say it on the podcast, and I say it to everyone I talk to. Life is about risk. You're not going to gain anything if you don't risk something. So, Bella, you're going to start posting your music online?
I mean, I guess so.
You guess so?
I guess so.
What's your advice to anyone your age or anyone even my age? What's your advice in terms of caring for yourself during this pandemic that we're in? Like, what advice can you give someone that you think would help them in some way?
I mean, what I like to do is every Sunday night, I take a bath and I do a face mask and I just kind of, care for myself. So, I mean, I guess I would just say give yourself time to like do little things for yourself. I don't know.
I love that. I think that's great. Give yourself some time to do little things for yourself. I don't think you realize, Bella, because you're still young, but for the On Blast community, you guys are hearing it first. You need to take time for yourself. And more times than not, people don't. And that leads to a big imbalance in life. And that leads to a lot of animosity. So you have to be able to take that time for yourself. So it's great at 14, Bella, I need to take time for myself. So Sunday nights, that's my bath time. Don't interrupt. Don't talk to me. Don't look at me. I'm going to do my hair. I'm going to put on a face. I'm going to do whatever I want. And I think that's great because I think even though you're young, you're never too young to teach and you're never too old to learn. Okay. So I think you could teach a lot of people my age and older, hey, take some time for yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. So, Bella, do you have any closing thoughts as far as how the podcast went and our questions?
Um, I mean,
Could be anything.
with what Anthony said, the questions were some of them were a bit like, I don't know, some of them were just a bit much. Um,
Yeah,
but
that's to put it lightly.
yeah. Um, I don't know. I mean, I think the podcast went good. I think you doing these podcasts are good. Like, I don't know what to say. Um,
You don't have to always say something. Sometimes saying nothing is better. Anyway, so we did the Q&A, guys. I had a good amount of fun with that, even though some of those questions were really rude. But whatever. Q&A was cool. We had to try it, see what we thought of it. I'm happy I could have my little sister Bella here to share her big debut with me. That means a lot to me. As you guys know, my family is the most important thing in my life. So I'm happy to have Bella here. Although we do miss Ira. Ira will be back next week, come hell or high water. Yeah, we miss Ira. He'll be back next week, though. So yeah, thank you so much, Bella, for hopping on and helping with the Q&A. Hopefully, my advice and your advice will be able to help someone today. What do you think? You think it'll be able to?
I think so.
Yeah, I think we nailed it.
Yep.
I'll say.
Yeah.
So next week we're gonna be on blast, me and Ira, and we're gonna be back to the nitty gritties of life. But this week we took it light. Last week, obviously, we were too busy living our lives, so we were just taking it easy. We let you guys know we weren't going to apologize for that, and that's my advice. Don't apologize for trying to live your life, guys. And the great words of Bella, take some time for yourself, even if that's just a bubble bath. All right, Belle, I love you. I'll see
Love
you
you
in a
too.
little bit. I'm getting off, guys. On Blast Podcast is out. If you guys haven't already, make sure you follow us on YouTube. Okay, you can catch up on all of our videos over there, and make sure you follow us on Instagram, Facebook, On Blast Official. That's where you'll find us at the handle. Share our videos with a mother, a father, a sibling, a cousin, a friend, and we appreciate it. We're having fun. I love the podcast. Ira loves the podcast. On Blast Podcast is where it's at. All right, guys. Give us your best peace out, Belle. That's the
Peace
best
out.
one? All right, guys. Till next week.